Hello, and welcome back to ROAD TRIpVIA, the once-a-day road trip trivia quiz. Today's episode is number 596. The category is Nickelodeon. This is a 20-question trivia quiz with a question 21 tiebreaker at the very end. All the questions come from the channel Nickelodeon, the 80s, the 90s, and the 2000s. Any show, animated, live action, it's all included. Good luck on today's quiz. Question 1. First airing on Canadian television channel YTV in 1990, what horror show was picked up by Nickelodeon in 1991 and features a group of teenagers who referred to themselves as the Midnight Society? The answer is Are You Afraid of the Dark? Question 2. Like Saturday Night Live, but for a Nickelodeon audience, what was the name of the Saturday night staple where actors participated in comedy sketches and featured alumni like Nick Cannon, Amanda Bynes, and Gabriel Iglesias? That show was called All That. Question 3. Premiering in 1991 as one of the first animated shows on Nickelodeon, what was the name of the show about a young man going to school in his new hometown of Bluffington and trying to impress his crush, Patty Mayonnaise? The answer is Doug. Question 4. Nickelodeon's second longest running animated show, what series follows the adventures of Timmy Turner, a 10-year-old boy with godparents named Cosmo and Wanda, and a malevolent 16-year-old babysitter named Vicky? The answer is The Fairly Odd Parents. Question 5. Airing for 4 seasons in the early 90s, what was the title of the animated series that centered on the surreal life of an anthropomorphic Australian immigrant wallaby who just moved to America and his friends? The answer is Rocko's Modern Life. Question 6. Starring Jamie Lynn Spears, what live-action Nickelodeon show from 2005 to 2008 features a teenager at her new boarding school in Malibu, the Pacific Coast Academy, which used to be a boys-only school? The answer is Zoe 101. Question number 7. What was the name of the action-adventure TV game show that broadcast from 1993 to 1995 on Nickelodeon and was filled with lost treasures protected by mysterious Mayan temple guards? The name of that game show was The Legends of the Hidden Temple. Question 8. Ickis, Oblina, and Crumb are 3 young ghouls who are supposed to learn the art of scaring at the Monster Academy, a school under a city dump, in what mid-90s Nickelodeon show? The full title of that show is Real Monsters. Question 9. In 1996, Two actors from the All That Nickelodeon show got to star in their own show that was set in Chicago and follows two high school kids, one who works at a grocery store and his orange soda loving buddy. The answer is Kenan and Kel. Question 10. What Nickelodeon show from the 90s features a teenager who addresses the audience directly to explain the things that are happening in her life, dealing with typical adolescent concerns such as school, boys, and pimples? I believe it was starring Melissa Joan Hart. It was Clarissa Explains It All. Question 11. First airing on Nickelodeon in 1989 as minute-long shorts that aired as interstitials, what was the title of the show about the two brothers, both with the same name, that soon had a regular half-hour series that ran for 3 seasons from 93 to 1996? The show was called The Adventures of Pete and Pete. Question 12. Based on the 2001 full-length film, what Nickelodeon show follows an 11-year-old from Retroville as he goes on adventures with his best friends Carl Weezer and Sheen Estevez? The full title is The Adventures of Jimmy Neutron, Boy Genius, but Jimmy Neutron will work. Question 13. After an improvised comedy routine at a school talent show audition gets posted online, two girls start their own webcast and instantly become a viral sensation in what Nickelodeon show starring Miranda Cosgrove? The answer is iCarly. Question 14. What is the name of the Nickelodeon animated show that revolves around Daggett and Norbert, two young brothers who have moved out of their parents' home to become bachelors in the forest near the fictional Way Out of Town, Oregon? The answer is The Angry Beavers. Question 15. What is the name of the titular stepbrothers in the Nickelodeon show that first aired in 2004 with different and opposite personalities who must now learn to live under the same roof while they go through high school? The answer is Drake and Josh. Question 16. Set in the 1950s and 1960s, what is the name of the early 1990s animated Nickelodeon show that follows an emotionally unstable and sociopathic chihuahua and a good-natured yet dim-witted cat? That classic was The Ren and Stimpy Show. Question 17. Set at the fictional summer camp, Camp Anawana, what early 90s live-action Nickelodeon show focuses on teenage campers, their strict and bossy counselor, and the various capers and jocularities they engage in? The name of that show was Salute Your Shorts. Question 18. Following the life of conjoined brothers of different species, who share the same body with no tail or hind legs, what Nickelodeon animated show ran for 4 seasons and 68 episodes over a 7-year span? The answer is Cat Dog. Question number 19. What was the Nickelodeon computer-animated musical children's TV show featuring Pablo, Tyrone, Uniqua, Austin, and Tasha from 2004 to 2013? The answer is the Backyardigans. Question 20. Revealing the world from a baby's point of view, where everything looks bigger, more mysterious, and uncontrollable, in what Nickelodeon show does Angelica, the oldest, like to terrorize her cousin Tommy and his friends? That show is called Rugrats. Alright, that is it for today. Thank you for watching today's episode of ROAD TRIpVIA. If you are a fan of Nickelodeon, you're probably wondering where the SpongeBob SquarePants question is, and you're thinking, ooh, if it wasn't in the first 20, then the question 21 tiebreaker will probably be SpongeBob. But here's a hint, it's not SpongeBob. There was no way I could ask a question about SpongeBob that wasn't just painfully obvious. It's the longest running show on Nickelodeon, so it's very synonymous with the channel. But there's no question I can ask where people wouldn't immediately go, oh, that's SpongeBob SquarePants. I couldn't think of a good way to ask it. And since I was just asking for the titles of the show, I figured that one was too easy. So if you like Nickelodeon, don't be mad that I left out the SpongeBob SquarePants. Maybe one of these days I'll do a specific SpongeBob SquarePants trivia game. But until then, here's the question, the tiebreaker for today's trivia. And remember, the answer is not SpongeBob. I believe this is a live action one. Here we go. What was the Nickelodeon sketch comedy show with recurring sketches like Judge Trudy, a spoof of the courtroom reality Judge Judy, and So You Want to Win $5, a spoof of the ABC game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and Block Blister, a spoof of the now defunct video rental store Blockbuster? We're looking for the name of the Nickelodeon sketch comedy show. The name of that show was The Amanda Show, starring Amanda Bynes. Thank you for watching. Check back tomorrow. You know what? I think it is. I think tomorrow we're going to do Cartoon Network. So same thing that we did for Nickelodeon, but we're going to do it tomorrow. Cartoon Network. Check back, hopefully around noon Central Standard Time. Thank you for watching.